Hi everyone, welcome to the Kari P show. If you're new here, please subscribe. And if you're new and you're not, please go ahead and like the video, okay? So now that we got that out of the way, I have so much to share with you. But first up is Olympian, okay? Legend, okay? Gymnast, Simone Biles. Homegirl is engaged, y'all, and I am so excited and happy for her. Super. She has just been through a lot, okay? She has been through so much, and I'm just so happy that she's finding a new chapter in her life that is just amazing. Her boyfriend, no fiance, okay, seems to be a really nice guy. His name is Jonathan James, and he's a safety for a Texas NFL team. I will actually state the team here. I forgot. Bear with me, y'all. Nick Cannon. Yes, Nick Cannon, he's in the news again. So, he recently announced that he's actually having another child by someone, Brittney. Listen, I spoke about it before. I'm not going to go into detail about her, but this is what my thing is, right? He released a song called Alone, sorry. And it basically expresses where he stands with his ex-wife Mariah Carey. And if you didn't know, they were married for, I believe it's 6 or 8 years, and they have 2 children together, right? So I'm gonna read you the actual lyrics to the song. He says, first off, I'ma say I ain't got nothing but love for you. I'ma stay away, I ain't trying to F up for you. I'm going to keep my distance, stay in my lane, because I know you got a man, it's a little too late. But frankly put, being without her sucks. I've been lying, I say I'm cool when I know I miss it. Then he go on to say, I traded all for the case. If I could have you back, if I could go back to where we started at. As much as I want you back, it's probably better where you at. Then he goes on to say, because I'm still running the streets. I'm still all in the sheets having babies, models and singers and actresses saying they pregnant by me. Have to pay $10,000 a week. I take care of my peeps. Now you don't worry about when I creep. You got a man next to you when you sleep. But every time I need some love, I can't find it. Then he continues, this is a subtle reminder that I'm still undecided. And listen, he then goes ahead and says, in a caption, yes, I know I had my dream girl. I messed it up. And now I'm singing for everybody who feels alone. Listen, Nick, you're not singing for everybody who feels alone, okay? You are just not, honey. Do not claim that you are the representative for the alone people, okay? You are the representative for the people who done messed up, who lost what they were blessed with, okay? And didn't take care of it, didn't treasure it. That's the one that got away type deal situation. That's who you represented, is those individuals, okay, who did not actually cherish and value what they had. That's who you represented for. You ain't represented for the alone people, okay? You need to be alone, Nick. This is perfect for you. This song, Alone, the lyrics are perfect for you, but the actual title is perfect for you because you need to be alone, Nick. You need to go through, and y'all, I'm not tripping, okay? Because even Nick said that his therapist that he had been seeing over the course of a year or whatever said that she advised him to say, you need to be single. You need to focus on you and not be in no relationship and da. He didn't listen, okay? I think he got 2 females pregnant within that time that he was supposed to be alone. So I say this to say, unfortunately, Nick, this is what I prescribe for your behind. You need some alone time, okay? No, listen, it's not done yet, y'all. His segment ain't done yet. So he said on an appearance on the Language of Love podcast with Dr. Laura Berman, right? She asks, are all your children planned? And he responds, I'm never going to say that. Okay. Then he goes on to say, I'm going to take full responsibility. Any woman that I know that I have unprotected sex with, there's a potential to have a child. And then he said, so if I feel like if I have unprotected sex with anyone I know, because one, I value everything about me so much. If I've gotten to that point where I say I can take this condom off, I'm gonna say she could be the mother of my child. I'm the biggest germ freak in the world. Every woman that I have a child with, there is definitely a conversation about, wow, how amazing would this be? I feel like every woman I have a child with are amazing mothers. And there was a thought process going into like, man, she would be an amazing mother. She's desired children. I can't wait to see what type of mother she would be. And then she says, so then he says, so in saying that, I would say that they're all planned. Okay. Additionally, while talking about polyamory, like basically he said that he only considers someone as not single if they're married. So for all you ladies who are in committed relationships with your boyfriend and have been for donkey's years, he still considers you single. Okay, just to put it out there. And Nick isn't the only one. This is not the first time I've heard this. A lot of people say this loosely, like people being in committed relationships don't matter. It's like you're still for the taking. It's like, did you not hear committed in that sentence? I guess not, right? Okay. Anyways, right? So then he says, when you allow the government and paperwork to come in and say, this is a bond, this is a covenant, you're not single. You can still make covenants without getting the government involved, where two people say, we choose to be monogamous because we value this so much. We don't want anyone to be a part of this energy we have. And I don't feel like that's healthy. He then says, I don't think monogamy is healthy. I feel like that gets into the space of selfishness and ownership. First and foremost, Nick, please don't bother speak on monogamy. Don't even speak about marriage. Just don't speak, period. Okay? We don't want anything to do with what it is you feel you need to offer the world in them words. Moving on. Victoria's Secret, okay, hires their first ever model with Down syndrome, and her name is actually SOFIA JIRAU, and she is Puerto Rican. And I'll insert her picture here. But you know, I'm actually kind of excited about stuff like that. Like now I want to see them actually embrace like plus size individuals, because for a very long time that is what it is that they have completely shied away from, is plus size individuals. Like, so I would love to see that. All right, moving forward. So Monique, Oprah, and Tyler Perry, y'all, G's on peace. Like, listen, I wish I was on YouTube when this story first hit, because I had so much to say about it, but it's been so long. But all right, if you don't know, this is what happened. I'm gonna give you the lowdown real quick, okay? So Monique did a movie Precious, and Lee Daniels called her up personally and said, hey Monique, this movie needs you, girl, right? We don't have the big budget or whatever the case is, but I want to know if you want to hop on board. So Monique only got $50,000 for the movie, right? So now, as you know, it has ties to Oprah Winfrey and whatnot. But what ended up happening is the fact that literally Monique did her touring or whatever the case is that she was supposed to do domestically. And I believe they wanted her to do international touring as well. And Monique was like, okay, so are you going to pay me for that? So their whole thing was like, no, we don't ever pay people who are going to do touring. So she was basically like, well, I only got $50,000 for the film. And the film, you know, I gave an Oscar winning performance. Like the film has numerous accolades, this, that, and the third, numerous awards, this nominations, da 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 da. The least you could do is to pay me for doing something that I am not obligated to do contractually. They said no. Now, people got in their feelings. Lee Daniel basically said, like, what's going on? Like, he basically complained about her and made her into a difficult person to work with. And it skyrocketed from there. Then Tyler Perry, who she did not have no interactions with, was also talking about her and saying things about her that weren't true, and he was not present for it. And it just became like a situation where I feel like she was unfairly treated. And at the end of the day, like, if you fulfill your obligation, if you want to treat this as a professional thing and as not as a favoritism thing. Oh, and by the way, this is also something that created a lot more bad blood, is that Lee Daniels had basically told her, hey, I know you didn't get, you know, what you deserve to be paid for in Precious. However, I am creating Empire State, yeah, Empire, right? The series Empire with Cookie, Lions and whatever, starring Terrence Howard and whatever the case is. Like, he literally said the part is yours, okay? You just need to, I already know the part is yours. You already got it. He sent her like an email or something of the sort. And but he said that, oh, the above head people, they just need to have like an audition on file. So she was like, I would love to arrange that. I'm so pumped about this, whatever the case is. And come to find out, they didn't cast her. They cast Taraji P. Henson. So that also created some bad blood. And then when she spoke about it, which she had the right to do in an interview, Lee Daniels said, oh, he never made no promises like that. So then in another interview, she came with receipts, y'all. She came with all the emails and this, that, and the third. And then for a while, Monique kind of seemed like she was blackballed. And Monique is not the type of person who's just going to allow for you to walk all over her and then like just act like you didn't do, like she's responsible for the way you're treating her and whatnot. She's not that type of person. If you know Monique from her comedy days, stand up, like that Monique is not that type of person. She don't have that type of personality. She's very forthright with her opinion and all that. So homegirl was like, forget that. And she called out Tyler Perry, she called out Oprah Winfrey, and she called out Lee Daniels. And at the end of the day, y'all, I can't be upset with her for calling people out and for saying you need to take accountability for your actions. Like, but I don't understand. Like, why wouldn't you say, like, it's not like if you're producing Empire, man, just give her like a large, amount of money for the role. Actually, give her the role first and foremost. Give her a large amount of money so it kind of double up for what she missed out on for Precious, and be there for her. She had your back when nobody knew no Lee Daniels from nothing. Understand? Nobody knew him. Like, if it wasn't for Precious, we would not know Lee Daniels. And to be honest with you, if he did not get somebody like Monique who brought her name to the game and her fame to the game, then Precious probably would not have sold as it did. And then second of all, this whole Empire, series probably would not have sold either. So at the end of the day, Lee, you messed up. No, that don't mean that I don't want for you to cast me one of your shows, honey. Tyler Perry, this don't mean that either. But I have to keep it real, y'all. I've got to keep it real. I've got to keep it honest and forthright with you. So, Monique, I stand in your corner, baby. You just need to focus on you. Get back to what it is that you love to do. And yes, you may have been blackballed. And yes, you may have been this and that, whatever. But at the end of the day, like, your time is your time. And, the sun gonna shine. So, moving on, honey. Moving on. Anyways, now another Monique is Monique Samuels from former like castmate of Housewives of Potomac. Now, if you guys don't know, Monique is married to her husband who played in the NFL and retired and whatnot. And they've made great investments. They're doing very well for their family. She is now joining the cast of what is it called? Love and Marriage DC, which is a spin-off of Love and Marriage Huntsville. And I'm not here for it, honey. I really am not. I would have loved to see them give her her own show because I would find that more entertaining. But Love and Marriage, I don't know. She gonna be on a whole bunch of people I don't know, and I'm just not here for it. I don't even like Love and Marriage Huntsville. Like, listen to me. Let me tell you something. Marcel irritates my soul. That's the only person I would do an interview with is Marcel. Marcel, the one that lied about he cheating and all that, and he had a baby on the side, and his homeboys that were also casted on the show were like, I know that you ain't messed up in your marriage. I know you're a good husband, whatever the case is. And I know when they said that, I never forget it. They were on a campfire. And one of his friends was like, I know the rumors out there ain't true. Like blogs always be talking. Something like that, the person said, right? And then Marcel, he did this whole big swallow, honey. His Adam apple went all the way to his colon and right back up. And then he came out, he admitted that, yes, he does have a child on the way. And my whole thing is, y'all, if you feel to some degree that at the end of the day, what's going on with your current situation is not what it is that you want long term, do not continue having children with this same individual and then entertaining another person out there. Like, just why? Anyways, moving forward, honey. Mary J. Blige, okay? She releases a new single called Good Morning Gorgeous. And I actually checked out the video. The video is like 2 minutes and 46 seconds long. It's a really quick video, y'all. When you're finished with this, go watch it. I actually enjoyed the video. So then, anyways, moving on. So, actor Columbus Short, and you know Columbus Short from Stomp the Yard, okay, as well as Scandal, all right? Like, oh my gosh, can I tell you? Me and one of my friends, honey, all right, we used to watch Stomp the Yard like crazy. When I say like crazy, I mean we would play it back to back to back when it first came out. Oh my gosh. And one of my favorite scenes is when they all stand up on a mountain and they all topless, honey. Ooh. Yes. Anyways, so that was that. And I was like, ooh, I'm sorry. Y'all can tell I'm like blushing, baby. Okay, I'm a hot mess right now because I'm telling you, like, it's crazy to me. So much time has passed, but I was in love with him at that moment. Not no more, honey. Not in real life. Okay, so actor Columbus Short, let's get to the story. Actor Columbus Short, y'all, was arrested for child endangerment and domestic violence. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. Now, specifically, and the his wife, his current wife, but soon to be ex-wife, I'm assuming. Okay, her name is Aida Abramian, right? And literally the child that the child endangerment charge that he got was because the domestic situation or altercation, I should say, literally happened while the child was present. So that's why he was charged with child endangerment. Now, this is not the first time Columbus has found himself in the same predicament. He found himself in it before with Karine Stephens. Now, if you don't know Karine Stephens, she is formerly known as Superhead. Read into that what you want, guys. I'm not here to cover that aspect. But she was a victim of domestic violence, and this happened a couple, they were married, and this happened, and she actually had to get a restraining order. And it's she also alleges that Columbus had actually threatened her 18-year-old son numerous times. So Columbus is struggling, y'all. He is struggling, okay? He's struggling. And I don't know what's going to happen because, as you know, he was on Scandal. And I think the prior incident with Karine Stephens, his previous wife, I think that's what actually messed him up. I think that is the reason why he was written off Scandal. And when I tell you he's a good actor, I like him as an actor. I think he's got talent. But if you can't keep your hands to yourself, then you don't deserve to be in the spotlight. You understand what I'm saying? And I just kind of feel like, how many times? How many times? You understand what I'm saying? Like, you did it once, and we can't say to you no after you did it a second time that you don't have a problem. She just made it up, whatever the case is. We can't do that. There's no defending you, no matter how cute you are. Like, there's just no defending you. So I would say, Columbus, you need to be alone too. Okay? Moving on. ERIKA GERARDI. Now, ERIKA comes out and she's going to be she's the soon to be ex-wife of Tom Girardi. You know, there's a whole, she's also on the cast, before I get into it, she's also on the cast of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and her husband is, being investigated. She's also on the investigation to a certain degree too, for him actually, y'all, that's my pillow sticking out. Okay, homegirl now gotta need a little lumbar situation support. Yeah, feeling. Don't think anything of it, y'all. But anyways, I don't know how we got all the way up there, but when you tape it, so many things happen. So anyways, ERIKA, she's literally, saying no, that I'm not doing the older thing anymore, she says. Okay, I'm 50, so maybe somebody in my age range, but I'm not doing it anymore. Okay, she's like, I love intelligent men and I like people that are confident, right? She says, I want to have fun. I would really like to have a nice conversation. I'm technically still married, so I'm in a very weird place. Okay. And ERIKA just basically said, I'm done with the old men. I can't be bothered with y'all. Y'all just you know, you just ain't it no more. I'm really feeling myself. I am about to, you know, get out of this toxic situation I've been in for all this time. And I just want somebody new, somebody fresh, somebody who could do the do in the bed. And that's what it is. That's really what she wanted to come out and say, but she didn't want to say all that. Okay, so moving on. Neo is finally, okay, coming back into the news. Like, to me, it's like Neo disappeared, and he disappeared for such a long time. Like, Neo was like on and popping, like back to back to back to back to back. But it's kind of like right now, there's a point at which Neo is kind of like a pimple that just pops up sometimes, and then, you know, you treat it, you do what you got to do, and then it disappears all on its own. And I think that's exactly where you know, Neo is at, personally speaking. And I'm like, okay, Neo, we see you. Now what do you have to say for yourself? Are you coming out with new music? No. Guess why Neo is coming out? Because Neo had this interview, and he basically said that and I don't want to misquote him. So he says, this was in response to who should be blamed for the popularization, okay, of misogynistic music. And he says it's gotten super misogynistic, which I don't understand. And he says, and mind you, I can only blame us men halfway for that, because as a woman, if a man sings the word BITCH to you and you smile at him, he's probably going to do it again and again and again and again and again. And the more misogynistic the lyrics get, the more y'all accept it. The more that's going to happen. That's just kind of what it is. Ladies, I love y'all to death, but if you want men to stop calling you BITCHES, stop dancing to the records. Okay, Neo, please go crawl back in that hole right now, okay? Because that's not really and truly what it boils down to. At the end of the day, is he partially right? Yes. But I don't think that's for him to say. I think that the onus should be on the artist. The artist should be putting out music that doesn't demean women. Okay? That's just what it is. It doesn't matter if the artist is a male or a female. At the end of the day, the population, okay? The general population, the listeners, are not in that studio while you are writing these lyrics or these bars. We're not there. You are the one that's doing it, okay? So at the end of the day, like, if you didn't do it, then we would have nothing to smile about. We would have nothing to dance to. You understand what I'm saying? Like, and that's why I'm saying the onus is really on the artist, right? Just like how I paint something, like, I can't be saying that y'all are the ones who are responsible for me painting what I painted as my subject. Okay? Like, that don't make no sense. I am responsible for my craft. I am responsible for my art. If I put something in a painting, I put something in a painting. It's not because y'all said, okay, I like this in a painting, so I'm definitely gonna do it. Neo, goodbye. Anyways, next up, McDonald's. So McDonald's is in hot water again and possibly will be canceled, okay? Because it is not protecting its Black employees who are being fired because of their protected styles. Now, for me, if y'all don't know, protected styles are the styles that are crafted or created, okay, like, and executed to protect one's natural hair. So a lot of the times when you hear protective styles, think of like box braids, think of like twists, think of cornrows, cane rows, you know what I'm saying? Think of stuff like that. Like, that is what is considered a protective style, okay? This would not be considered a protective style, but something like braids or cornrows or whatever, that would become a protective style, okay? So you guys have to think about that. And that is something that I feel like I don't understand what the problem is. Like, do not judge my hairstyle. My hairstyle, as long as it is done and it is presentable, okay, and it's not smelling, it's not dirty, it's not, you know, got a whole bunch of stuff in it, like, you know, lint and all that. As long as that's not the case and I'm doing my job, why do you care what style I pay my hairdresser to get? That's none of your business. That's my wallet, okay, and my time and my hairdresser's business. That's not your business. Keep that to yourself, okay? Y'all feel me, like, if y'all don't feel me, let me know in the comments. But if y'all feel me, like, thank you. Okay. No, I need for you to like. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, honey. I don't know what you waiting for. Okay. But anyways, now we got to go to Prince Harry. Okay. Now, Prince Harry is just been in the news. Like, the reason why I involve him in the celebrity situation is because I don't consider him a royal. You understand what I'm saying? I consider him like a celebrity because he just be, you know, leaving all these butter biscuit breadcrumbs wherever he goes. So literally, this is where he at, okay? So Prince Harry is saying, and I spoke about this before in a recap of mine, all right? Prince Harry is saying that he does not feel as though he would be safe and his family would be safe if they went to Britain. And I covered this and I said, I think he should be given security because he's still a royal. And at the end of the day, security is just a basic situation. He did not say, I am denouncing my title. He is not saying I'm done with the royal family. He's not saying none of that. Okay. He still has a title to a certain degree, even though it don't mean nothing no more. But still, he still got a title. You see what I'm saying? Like, and he just wanted to step away for, you know, a time period. Other royals have done that, according to him and Meghan, which is why they said that they didn't think it would have been a big deal, but it was, okay? But what I'm saying is, and I'm getting that, he deserves some protection too, all right? Like, what is your problem? Like, get it together. I'm so sick and tired of this same situation. Like, you should have it together by now. Anyways, Harry and Meghan, okay, may not be going to the Oscars. It's not like definitive that they were invited, but because Meghan was actually a former actress, and she starred on Suits, I believe it was, like before, you know, she decided to become this princess, literally, okay, like she wants to get back into the Oscar scene. And that's understandable because as an actress, that's like your after work type situation where some people get lots of booze, things go on, and people get awarded and nominated and whatever the case is. All right. So she wants to be in the scene, I think. All right. I'm just saying. Okay. And I think they would have gotten an invite because of their status and who they are. Like, of course, you want the publicity of saying Prince Harry and his wife, Meghan Markle. All right, you know, she switched her name. But anyways, that's not the point. The point is you want to be able to write about them being on the red carpet. No. Here's the thing. It doesn't appear as if he would actually go anyways. Or should I say they would go anyways? Because, you know, they always have to be a united front, honey. It's never you do this and I do that. No, 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 no. Okay, so really and truly, it doesn't look like they would go. Why? Because Kristen Stewart is nominated. This is the only nomination, okay, that the movie got. And it wasn't even a movie that was nominated. It was Kristen Stewart who played Princess Diana in Spencer. The movie is called Spencer. Y'all should go watch it. Tell me what you think. Okay, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but what I will say is in the movie, okay, like I watched it and I said to myself, I was like, I don't know if I want Princess Diana portrayed as this because this just don't seem like her. Number one. Number two, it just seems like they took a lot of artistic freedom in putting together this story, and I wasn't really feeling that. Number three is the fact that they made her out to be someone that I honestly don't think that aligned with the People's Princess, which is what, you know, she's called. And I feel like if you're gonna do a film about a specific period in time, have it be something that, you know, her boys would actually be like, hey kids, that's your grandma. And that's kind of like a representation of what happened. You know what I'm saying? Other than like the stories and the videos that they have that world has not seen and stuff. But it's kind of like, you know, let it be something that would actually last through generations. But no, they decided to do the opposite. They wanted to play Princess Diana, and I am okay with Harry and Meghan and William and Kate and nobody in that. Well, the royal family probably would be like, they'll probably put an ad, be like, did you see Spencer? Go watch it. And then be like, Kristen Stewart is nominated for her performance in film. She's nominated for best lead-in role. Lead-in role, so that means best actress in a film, whatever, right? So y'all could take what you want to take from it. I didn't like the movie because of that standpoint. And yeah, now mind you, the fashion was dope, but and if certain things of that were true, then but I just don't like it. That's not the impression I want. And when are people going to stop trying to make a buck off of Princess Diana? All right, moving on. So, okay, Listen, y'all, I'm so annoyed with the Kardashian family for this purpose. Like, I spoke about it before and I must speak about it again, okay? Because there's another family member implicated. But you remember I was talking about how Kim Kardashian, sorry, okay? But really and truly, I should be blaming Kris Jenner because at the end of the day, Kris is the one that actually inputted all of this type of nonsense into her family. She bred them girls to be businesswomen and entrepreneurs and all of that, but she did not teach them something. And what she should have ensured was a part of their foundation, okay, for their entrepreneurial ventures was the fact that you create original stuff. Simply put, stop trying to rip off other people. I'm sorry, but it irritates the hell out of me, to be honest with you. Like, don't do that. You understand what I'm saying? Find a different pose, Kim. Okay? Like, find different marketing, like advertisements, products, like branding. Kendall Jenner. And Kendall is the model, if y'all don't know. Okay? So, Kendall Jenner, she is being sued by Tequila 512, okay? Her company's name is 818 Tequila. No, you may be saying to yourself, okay, so those are different numbers. They have tequila in the name. All right, now let's look at it, okay? 512, all right, it's actually the zip code, okay, for, I believe it's Texas, right? And 818 is the zip code for Los Angeles. Big problem. Like, that's for me, for you to use the zip code like in your branding, like that is really original. So I love that. Okay. Now, Kendall, because it is an original idea, why would you go ahead and just switch the actual word around, the placement around, and then use the zip code of LA? Again, where is the originality? I am so sick and tired. Not only that, y'all, I'm going to describe it, okay? Like, the company Tequila 512 is suing her for copyright infringement, right? False designation of origin and unfair competition, alleging that the brand copied its logo and color scheme. Now, let me explain. So, Tequila 512, right? Now, listen, Tequila 512, whose trademark was established in 2015, uses an immediately recognizable 512 mark in black lettering inside a vertical yellow rectangle, okay? Tequila 818, which is Kendall Jenner's tequila brand, okay? She launched it last year and she was the face of the company, and she's accused of using the same branding with immaterial tweaks. So literally, the tweaks are so small, like there's barely any difference between them. Problem, get your own stuff. These women have money, y'all. They've got so much money. What is their problem? They have teams, okay? They can employ many people to go out there and do their due diligence and make sure that there's a brand that does not exist that seems similar to her idea. No, what they do is they go out there, they pay somebody to look for cool ideas, okay? And then try to rebrand them as their own. And because they've got so much publicity, because they are so popular, because they've got the fame and the fortune, they just take advantage of the situation. Not here for it. Not here for it. Anyways, now we're going right back into alcohol again, honey. Okay, now let me get some water. This ain't no alcohol. I wish it was. But y'all see my little, can you see it, y'all? Can you see it? It says Kari. I know it's kind of like upside down or whatever the case may be, but y'all should be able to read it by now. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at these. These up here, they upside down too. Anyways, y'all, I'm not, to be honest with you, I am not drinking, okay, while I do these videos, because I'd be like, I'm playing, I'm a lightweight. So I actually may look like that on film. But anyways, let me just drink some water right here. Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. Y'all, it just seems like they can't get over each other. I don't understand. You know what? So I don't know, what was the movie? What was the movie that they actually met each other on? Anyways, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I think that's it, y'all. Mr. and Mrs. Smith. You know, in the movie, like, they're both undercover and they both end up fighting. But anyways, it just seems like they met during that movie, and they took the movie as a basis as to how to proceed after getting married, having children, and then getting a divorce. What the hell is going on? If they're not arguing about the kids, then they're arguing about this. All right. Now, what ended up happening is that both of them actually bought a winery. Like, they have a wine company, right? And she basically, Angelina, she sold her rights to the winery without Brad Pitt's knowledge. Now, granted, contractually, there was nothing that she needed to do before doing that, but they had an understanding, okay? And the understanding was, and it was not written, but the understanding was they would not sell, okay, unless the other one consented to the sale, okay? But also they had to consent to the person that would be acquiring the company. Angelina decided that she ain't doing that, honey, and she sold. And she sold the company to an oligarch. I think that's the term. And what that means is, like, she sold to a Russian oligarch. Now, an oligarch is someone like a businessman of means, very wealthy, who also has political ties. So she sold to a man called Yuri Sheffler, and Brad Pitt is pissed. Brad Pitt wants for the judge to review the case and overturn the actual business deal that was made. And I'm just like, yeah, I agree with Brad. Like, if you guys go into it, whether or not you put anything on paper, guys, like, I still feel like your word is your bond. I still feel like this is something that you should consider. I feel like if you guys make an agreement to say this is how we're going to proceed in the future, if something happens, then keep up that promise. Don't just dial on back and do whatever the hell you want to do. And yes, I understand bad blood is there, but I do think that there are certain things that you just do not go ahead and contaminate, and that is business. Don't do that. Okay. Now, ROCKMOND DUNBAR has filed a discrimination lawsuit against Disney and 20th Television over his firing from the Fox drama 911. And he is suing now because of the fact that he applied under religious exemption. He did not want to take the COVID vaccine. And literally, he said that there are other castmates of the other 911 franchise, I believe, that were able to use that and to get out of it. However, he was not. And so that's where the problem is. And here's my thing. If you're going to do something for one, do it for all, okay? Do not do it because of the fact that this person is of this skin color or this skin tone or this race. Or no. If you're going to allow religious exemptions, any at all, in any franchise, then go ahead and do it for everyone. R&B singer R. Kelly, y'all, okay? R. Kells, okay? King of R&B, like some people dub him, okay? Like, he's actually firing his Chicago legal team, and he is hiring Bill Cosby's attorney who works on his appeal that got his behind our bars, right? And her name is Jennifer Bonjean, right? So he's going to trial in August, and he wants for her to represent him. And so that's happening. No, Miss Bonjean, honey, she's also in the media because of what happened to her. Not what she did, but what happened to her. So there is, on one specific day, she was in court and whatnot. She presented her case and whatnot. And they were live streaming to YouTube, right? So the court judge, the Cook County court judge, and his name is William Raines. So Judge William Raines, right, as well as a few other members of council. And the judge actually said, can you imagine waking up next to her every day, sorry. Oh my God. I couldn't have a visual on that if you paid me, right? And in my mind, I'm like, really? This is what we doing? And that's why I'm saying, like, this bothers me. It bothers me. Do not talk about her physical appearance, okay? Don't talk about her physical appearance. Don't say nothing, period. How about that? At the end of the day, as a judge, these are the people who are elected, who are supposed to know better, uphold the law, this, that, and the third. And here it is, you're breaking it because you're supposed to be impartial, Your Honor, okay? You're supposed to be impartial. What is you doing? What is you doing talking out your mouth about this attorney? I'm sorry, but no. No, 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 no. So I don't know. Maybe the case is going to be dismissed that she was actually in his court for earlier that day. I don't know. But I think they should actually switch it over to another judge because, anyways, Britney Spears, y'all. Britney Spears is invited to Congress, okay, to speak about her experience with her conservatorship and how she actually got out of it. And I actually will post the letter right here. For you guys to see, okay? And it speaks a lot about, you know, the two congressmen who invited her last year, late last year. I think it was about October or November that she was invited to come to speak to Congress. They basically said, and I'm paraphrasing here, we've seen that you went through a lot and, you know, you really don't owe anybody anything, but we would love to have you come and talk about your experience and, you know, how was it for you in working through that? What were the difficulties you faced, and how did you actually get to a point where you were able to resolve it? Because I think that's something that, you know, people need to be educated on. Now, Kelly Clarkson is changing her name, and she's changing it to Kelly Brianne. Okay, now Brianne is actually her middle name. So you know Kelly's, you know, she's going through a divorce with Brandon Blackstock, right? Which is her husband, the father of her children. And she been going through it for a while. And you know, like when you exit a relationship, and it's like the first thing as we do as women, usually, when we exit a relationship and the relationship was just bad or, you know, tumultuous or just, especially if it was toxic, the first thing we do is to cut our hair off. Like we just go, shh, 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 and we say fresh start, okay? And there's the spiritual meaning behind it, because, you know, if you guys don't know, your hair is a conductor for energy. So spiritual energy and all of that, your hair conducts it and it stores it. And the longer your hair is, the more that's stored in there and so forth and whatnot. It's like the antennas of the world. Each strand is like an antenna to the world. So when you're in a toxic relationship or whatever, that's why you see most women who actually go ahead and they cut their hair off, or they totally change the style up of everything, because it allows for all that dead or unwanted energy to actually be let go. But anyway, so Kelly Clarkson reminded me of this when she said she gonna change her name. Like, this man must have did, and is probably doing the most, okay, for her to actually put in the court documents, because she actually filed them, to have her name changed. She said, Kelly Brianne, pretty. Kelly, I'm for it, girl. I really am. And y'all, that is the last of it. Okay, I am so happy that you stayed with me. Y'all, I have got so much in store for you. Go ahead and click that like button. Go ahead and click that subscribe button. And when you subscribe, hit the notification bell. All right. So thank you guys for joining me. I really appreciate it. Now, bye-bye.